A very warm regards to everyone. My name is Darshi Sharma. I'm an assistant professor in Faculty of Law, Kalinga University, and today I will be telling you about Introduction to Human Rights. Human rights are basic rights and freedoms that belong to every person in the world, from birth until death. They apply regardless of where you are from, what you believe, or how you can choose to live your life. They can never be taken away, although they can sometimes be restricted. For example, if a person breaks the law, or in the interest of the national security, the basic fundamental rights shared and the values of the dignity, fairness, equality, respect, and independence. These values are defined and protected by law. In Britain, our human rights are protected by the Human Rights Act of 1998. Human beings are born equal and in dignity and as well as in rights. These are the moral claims which are inalienable, inherent in all individuals by virtue of their humanity alone. Irrespective of the caste, color, creed, place of birth, sex, culture, differences and considerations are being considered. These claims are formulated in what is taken and today known as human rights. Human rights are sometimes referred to as fundamental rights, basic rights, inherent rights, natural rights, and even birth rights. But there is a huge difference between human rights, legal rights, and fundamental rights. Human rights are those rights that a people have by virtue of the value that they are human beings. By very birth of them, they are given this set of rights. Legal rights, on the other hand, is a right which is recognized and protected by a legal system. Legal rights have two important essential elements. Firstly, the holder of the rights, and secondly, the person bound by the duty. Fundamental rights, on the other hand, are the basic human rights vested in all citizens without any discrimination. At the time of commencement of Indian Constitution, we had 7 fundamental rights, which was later on converted into 6. And then how these human rights were developed. In ancient roots, elements of human rights can be traced back in ancient civilizations where various cultures, religious articulations, principles related to justice, fairness, and dignity of individuals were made. For example, in ancient Greece, philosophers like Plato, Aristotle discussed the idea of natural law, which formed the basis of the human rights later on. But the major document in the pursuance of the human rights was Magna Carta of 1215. This Magna Carta was signed in 1215 in England and is often considered to be the foundational document in the development of legal and constitutional rights. While it was initially a document outlining the rights of a nobility, it laid the groundwork for the idea of individuals, including the king, which was subjected to the law. Later on, in 1776, the American Declaration of Independence, and in 1789, the French Declaration for the Rights of Man and the Citizen were significant steps in codifying human rights principles. These documents asserted the inherent rights of individuals, including the right to liberty, equality, and property. But the most important document for international human rights were UDHR, that is, Universal Declaration of Human Rights, that came into being in 1948. Adopted by United Nations General Assembly, this document is a milestone in the history of human rights. Drafted by representatives from different cultures and legal background, it outlines the fundamental human rights principles and has served as a guiding document for subsequent human rights treaties and conventions. It has 2 major covenants: International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights and International Covenant of Economic, Social and Cultural Rights. In India, the human rights can be traced in following manners. First, constitutional principles. Second, Protection of Human Rights Act of 1993. Third, NHRC, that is National Human Rights Commission and its guidelines. Fourth, social and economic rights like Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, which is working for the rural employment. Fourth, children rights, which includes Right to Education Act of 2009, which gives a fundamental duty and fundamental right both to children to have an education if they belong to the age bracket of 6 to 14. Next was the women's rights. There were a number of legislations made for women empowerment and women benefits. Fourth is Dalit and tribals. And last is the active role of judiciary, which we have seen in number of landmark judgments like retired Justice K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India, which gave right to privacy and intrinsic right to all the individuals in the country, which is also a major part of Article 21.